Two of the broadcast of Let's Talk, the first ever episode right here on Backwards Compatible. And I'm one half of the BC team. This is RebelKomix or Rebel Gaming, however you know me. LP Sexy, L Dog, the one true tracer, Mr. Hilarious, the father of Niobe, the Grandmaster of Ceremonies, the man with the plan, the champ that runs the camp, the face that runs the place. Maverick, I don't know. I think I got way too many nicknames, man. What do you think?
You need some
Oh, what's that now? You sound a little off there.
need some more rhyming words.
I need some more rhymes. You know, I got to hit up the great legend and steal some of his rhymes. So welcome, man. Welcome to the BC. You know, this is our channel, man. Not just my channel, your channel, man. What's going on?
Oh, not too much. Watching some stupid Batman thing while I was waiting for this.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you've been going through some issues, man. Talk to us about that. I mean, you started some live streams and they would cut out. And what's going on in that front there with you?
I don't know. I'm surprised this is working. I haven't been able to do a live stream in a week. Every day I try to do a random morning rant. No, not every day, probably every second day I've tried to do at least a couple of live streams in the evening, and they just won't work. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I get an error from YouTube on the live stream page, get an error from actual YouTube, and sometimes it starts fine and it just cuts out a couple minutes in and stops broadcasting altogether. So it's like, fuck it.
Now, what type are you getting an error message from YouTube or from Windows, or is your OBS giving you the error message?
When I get errors, it's actually coming from YouTube, the web, like YouTube itself. But and that's only like half the time. Half time I'll get error messages from YouTube. I forget what it fucking says exactly, but basically just brings me to a Google's fucked up page, and it's like, no, Google and YouTube and all that shit's fucked up. That's our bad. And I think error 304 or something. Anyway, and the other half of the time, I don't get any errors. The stream just stops. It keeps recording. Thankfully, I got OBS set to record while I'm streaming, just in case something like that happens. I learned that lesson a while ago when it kept happening to me before. But no, just the other half time it just quits. Luckily I look and I notice that it's not on YouTube anymore streaming.
Well, here's the thing with OBS that I really love, right? And I have a love-hate relationship with this program because I'm still trying to make it, configure to run my games smoothly. So I might ask, what your settings are and see if mine match up to those. If not, maybe I'll adjust them.
Well, I've got I use different settings for different because I use classic, right? I'm not familiar with pro or whatever it's called. I'm gonna screen share right quick here. Well, let me open it first. While I'm waiting for it to open, I'll just I don't know how it works in OBS Pro, but I'll set up as many different scenes as I want, and I can just, depending on what I'm doing, I can go use different scenes. So I stream for Random Morning Rant, I have a scene specifically titled Random Morning Rant, and that has all my settings and like my pictures and the graphics and the banners and stuff like that all in it. And then I have a completely different scene set up for if I want to like stream a game from the computer, or if I'm streaming a game from like Nintendo or something like that. So I've got right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 7 different scenes set up so that, and they're all different. So based on what I want to do, like my gaming settings are different from my broadcast settings, but I don't know if it can do the same thing in OBS Studio or Pro or whatever it's called, because I know there's a lot more that's different between the two than I would think is different.
Oh, dude, I got like a bunch of scenes set up. That's how I transition from picture to picture, or throw up, if it's Rebel Gaming that I'm doing or RebelKomix, like, they'll all have the graphs, right?
So I got it screen shared right now for I got OBS.
I'm going to present you on the screen. And guys, if you've ever been curious about using OBS, then maybe pay attention to this one. So lay it into me, Mav. Let's see what's going on.
Well, it's just there's nothing going on with it. It says there, not streaming, so I'm not streaming, not recording nothing. But I got it set so that like just like comic book review, right here, comic book review. So I've got, let's preview. Oh, let me hide this. Preview stream. So there's nothing selected right now, so it'd just be a black screen. So when I'm gonna do that, there's my animated logo.
I can tell you one big difference already, eh?
But so these are the scenes on the left, and when you set up a scene, like I'll start. We'll just make a new.
You already sold me. I gotta go get OBS Classic. There's already one huge difference I'm already noticing.
This I'm going to call. I just don't want to lose track of my thoughts. So I'm listening to you, and I'm going to respond in 1 second. I'm just making a new scene. I'll just call it test because I saw OBS Classic, or I mean Pro or whatever, and it looks a fuck ton different. So I don't know how similar it is with this stuff. But I mean, so different scenes, right? So I made my new scene, call it test, because nothing in it. So sources, I don't know if it's called the same thing on Pro. Sources is where you well, cool. That's I don't get to explain that. That's where you add like your window capture, image slideshow, video capture, or just straight up video.
I'll stop you here. You don't have to explain any of this. It's all the same. There are minor differences, okay, but they're big differences.
Yeah. You can probably do it on this is for freelance gaming because I'm doing World of Warcraft. Well, this is freelance gaming PC streams. So I've got the biggest, most important thing with this one. I removed it the other day, but this one almost always has the game capture, and you know what that is. That's just if you get a game running on a computer, you just go into the properties for that when you add it in there and select whatever game's running, and it shows that. But I prefer monitor capture because it runs smoother. Switched it, but yeah, no, they're. Yeah, I mean, if it's all the same, I don't know. Not too much I can say.
Well, what's the difference? Like where you have all your sources, you have these check mark boxes where you can check mark what you want to appear on the screen, right?
Yeah, that's how I get like my intros is like random morning rant.
Studio doesn't have that. If you put it in the source, it's on the fucking screen. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, no, this I love because I can like some of my videos will have this what we're watching right now. I'm looking at my two screens and it's not as smooth on Google Hangouts as it is on the as it is. But yeah, like I'll have this, and then once that's done, or once a certain I always have a set amount of music to play at the beginning of videos when I have music. So when whatever song C is done, I know I can hit that, and there we go. Like my I don't want to screen share that because it's gonna just look retarded. But there'll be a lot of things like go regular YouTube. No, remove that. There. Yeah, because this is how anyone that watches my live streams fairly regularly, I guess, or have seen more than a couple. Like this is how they always start. Emergency broadcast system at the top bottom. I have the two scrolling bars with music playing. And, I have cues for myself. So, okay, now it's time to insert and beat, and there we go. And, oh, wrong one. There we go. And now I've got my warning. And then when I get to my next certain point, there we go. Now I got this, my title card. This is on there because of the video I did the other day. So I had to be a part of it too. But yeah, no, that's really the YouTube chat. I don't need that on. No, webcam, yeah. No, yeah, it's really useful because you can, like, say, you can transition through things, and can you do it in because on this too, I can also, if I'm using this right now. Okay, let me just go here right quick and put something on. So if I'm streaming or whatever with this, and there's something in here that's not there, like, fuck, I really wish I had been using this one for the one thing. It's like, okay, just hop over there, and it'll automatically transition to the other scene as well, and I can.
That's how I do all
I'm live streaming.
That's how I do all my transitions, is scene by scene, right?
Through scenes. Okay. So I guess the scene is basically like a file folder on your desktop that you just put your settings, that you put your items in, and you just switch between them. And I guess that's the biggest difference on the face anyway. But that's, I love it.
Studio to show you how it works, but the problem is that Windows 10 doesn't allow me to share on Google Hangouts.
Yeah, I hate Windows 10.
Right? But if I was on my laptop right now, I could do it. But yeah, OBS is awesome. I don't even like we have to do Google Hangouts if we really want to talk to each other. We really don't have an option,
Yeah, Google Hangouts or Skype. And everyone's got to have their Skype set up the same too. Because like my Skype right now set up, I can do a live stream with Google Hangouts or with OBS. And like use Skype to have other people on it. But it's fucking so overcomplicated. Like it's almost pointless. They make it so like not user friendly to do stuff like that. Oh.
Yeah, and for now, as long as this is an option, this is great. And we can even invite other people into the chat. Once we get rolling, if anyone's watching us.
Yeah, oh yeah, Google Hangouts has its drawbacks, but I mean, it's definitely awesome it's good to have as a resource, as an option to use, right? It's definitely probably the best thing to use if you're going to have multiple people that aren't in the same room and you're going to live stream.
Here's what I want to do. I want to finish my thoughts on OBS, and then what I want to do is talk about the channel, like backwards compatible. Sound good? So what I was going to say about OBS is, I used to use Adobe Premiere to make a lot of my pre-recorded videos, right? Because it would allow me to add in graphics. But in OBS, it's so much easier to add the graphics. And if I want to do a pre-recorded video, I could just hit record and not even stream it and pre-record my video that way. I find it very handy, even if I just want to pre-record some stuff. If I'm going to be, sitting in front of the computer, right? You know what I mean? If I'm going to be using the webcam,
Yeah, I had said earlier in a video from earlier today that I actually was talking for a minute about how I got so used to doing live streams that it just became so much easier than doing videos the way I used to, which is with my camera and my editing software and putting it all together and blah, blah, blah. I got so used to it that I haven't actually done that in a long time where I actually did that. And it sucks because, I mean, I think that you trade a little bit of quality for convenience when you do that. But, it's still... I didn't mean to interrupt you. Actually, I just got into a rant there. Sorry.
We froze there. But a live stream is just that. It's live, right? So there is no edits. You can't clip out certain parts if you don't like it. You can't, I can't throw in, a graphic right now into this or anything like that. The only way that I could do that is after this uploads, download the video, run it through Adobe Premiere, then I could chop it up and add in however I want, and then re-upload it if I wanted to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have to end up doing that with some of my random morning rants every now and then. I hate it because it's like any views that were on that video, now they're going to be gone because I'm deleting it and re-uploading the one that I had to fix. But sometimes you got to do it. So it could be worse. I remember, well, we both remember a time before YouTube. So, I mean.
Absolutely. We're old. There are kids out there that, were born watching YouTube, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
Let's talk about backwards compatible. So, everyone's been asking me, whenever I go into the off-air chat or even on Facebook, is what the fuck are you two guys doing now? What the fuck is backwards compatible, right? And this all spawned because you were doing a drunk live stream, and we got talking about doing a channel somehow or some way in that stream. And you were talking about Sony games not being backwards compatible with the PS4. And I said, that's fucking it. That's the channel name, right?
Yeah.
And so, that's how we came up with the channel name. But as far as, what the channel is actually about, I know you've been struggling to answer that because I've been watching the last couple of streams that you were able to do. But, I mean, I'm going to try and answer. It's whatever the fuck we want. Right? It's whatever the fuck. Excuse the language. We're not kid friendly here. Whatever the fuck we want to do on backwards compatible is what we're going to do. And I'm sure a lot of it is going to be throwing some spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks and see what works and see what doesn't.
Yeah, just like when you're breaking in a new pussy, you got to try a bunch of different positions, see what works for you, and then you take them.
And I put this together at work. I was at work and I had 3 hours to kill on my shift sort of thing with nothing to do. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I mean, might as well start up the channel, at least, get it, make the email address, get a password for it, and then, I made the graphic and, if we can always change the graphics, Maverick. I just want to throw something up there for the sake of having something up there. I do think it looks cool, but if you come up with a different design or something else for the avatar, then just throw it up there, man.
Well, I like, I mean, that the homepage banners looks fine. It's pretty cool. And I don't know what in the fuck name here for the avatar picture thing. I mean, that's good enough. It looks fine to me. I don't know what would be, I can't think of anything that'd be better. So, I got no complaints. It's pretty cool.
Well, I guess that'll be our design for a little while anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. The channel will grow and evolve and, it's our heterosexual life. Fuck, I had it all in my head too, and then I just lost it. It's our baby anyway, so we can't just abort it now that it's born. That's illegal. So
I feel
stuck with it now.
I feel like the channel's going to get the best of both worlds here, in one spot, right?
Yeah.
There'll be stuff that I might do on RebelKomix or on Rebel Gaming that I might just upload to here anyway. If I think it was a good video, and vice versa. If I do something on, fuck, I keep forgetting our own channel name, backwards compatible, and I thought it was really good comic book talk or something I had on here, then I might move that, over to the other channels as well, right? So like with me, you're going to get, the best out of my other two channels here, plus original stuff here, like Let's Talk kind of thing I've started here today. That's going to be solely for backwards compatible, and it'll be me, like I said, picking out a topic or 2 or 3 topics every time I come on, and we'll do a Let's Talk about it.
I should make a playlist on the backward compatible channel for call it Let's Talk Season 1. I've got like almost 50 no, I don't. What? How many do I got? I got a few Let's Talk videos on the Maverick Freelance channel, but I haven't done one in so fucking long. Like,
wow.
I had a whole bunch of different channel video titles for little like types of videos that would all be like gaming videos, comment videos, stuff like that. And some of them didn't pan out, and I just only did a few and stopped. That might be one of them actually. So it doesn't matter now I think about it. I had that thought jumped in my head, and then now that the thought's there and I'm thinking about it, it's like, wait, no, I only did a few of them. I don't need a whole fucking playlist with like Season 1, Let's Talk.
Now, speaking of playlists, I've already made some playlists in the channel. There is classic gaming with Maverick, right? So if you ever want to upload your classic gaming videos there, I mean, I put that there. I got modern gaming with Rebel,
Yeah, the gaming videos for me, the classic gaming videos will probably be up on this channel faster than my fucking gaming channel, for Christ's sakes.
I mean, I don't plan to, like make this a gaming channel, nothing else. But those are 2 items in the playlist. And there's a couple others that I put in there at the time, and I don't even know what they are. I'll have to go and look now. But like Let's Talk is going to be like in the playlist, like, Let's Talk with Rebel or whatever, or Rebel Talks is what I'll probably call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Oh yeah. Then one of the ones in the playlist is like, for our live broadcast, right? Like when me and you come on together, like that once or twice a month or whatever it is that we do.
Yeah.
There's a playlist for those. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's like 3 or 4 things in there, and yeah, by all means, man, put in whatever you want, or take out the classic game if you don't want to do it. Like, it's yours to play with, man. You got the password, you got the power.
Fucking A. Wonder Twins power activate, motherfuckers. Right.
In the chat room, we have our first, guy in the chat. Yeah. And that is, he's a legend, right, of New Zealand. He's an ordained prince.
Oh, yeah. I renamed. When was it? Kyle, let me know in the chat. I forget when it was. Maybe it was like a month or 2 months ago, somewhere around there. It was when he was in Australia, and I just renamed him the Prince of the South Pacific. Fuck. Why not?
He is the Prince, Kyle Walker, in the house. So yeah. I know Kyle's been feeling sick, so get well, brother.
I mean, he's in the noodle soup, but I don't know how well that would go.
He's in one of the off-air chats there with the Chaz and the guys right now. So I don't know if they're watching us on the off-air or not, or if they even care. But this channel really, I'll be honest, it really isn't for them. This channel is my way and hopefully your way of bringing in some new cats into the fold.
Yeah, and there's I mean, between anyone that sees me mention on my channel, and you mention it on your channel, and I mean, we're both on Twitch. I don't use it very much, but
followers, don't get me wrong. Right? Like for instance, we already have 10 subscribers. Now, granted, a couple of those are RebelKomix and Rebel Gaming, but the number says 10, so that's a good start for something that we just threw up, right? So we appreciate the 5 or 6 of you that have already subscribed to the channel. Like I know that Kyle is a subscriber. And then I looked at the list. I think Steve was a subscriber, so Artist and Niobe, thank you. And a few of our close friends are subs to the backwards compatible channel. But I'm hoping and of course anyone's welcome to come here. It's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is hopefully we can with our 2 styles combined, and with our how is this? With both of our logics of how to run a channel working together, like tagging things right and putting in the right keywords and the right descriptions. Like we're going to get in all that. Like I want to make this channel, like you said, like our baby.
Yeah.
We're only going to get out of it as much work as we're willing to put into it, and I'm willing to put in the work. I've really gotten better at this whole streaming thing, Maverick, since I started maybe like a year, maybe 2 years ago. I mean, especially when it came to the addition of adding OBS into what I do.
Yeah, almost playing with my headset too because things are starting to sound fucking fuzzy robot. I'm trying to see if it's any of my settings or my wires or something.
Well, here's the other thing I want to talk about before I forget all about it. We had our very first ever troll in our chat on part 1 of this broadcast.
Yeah, that's my buddy Julian.
Oh, he's your friend? Do you actually know him, or are you like just...
Oh, no, but I mean, I'm hoping he gets back to me. He's going to be my boyfriend. I'm going to make him a bitch.
So, yeah, he told us to suck his 3-inch Nazi cock, right?
Come on.
I believe that was the...
Here, tell me you're here, Julian. Bring your pencil dick out of your vagina and let me see it.
Here's the truth, right? When you do, whether it's Twitch, whether it's YouTube, whatever it is you decide to do, especially when you're doing it live, is you're going to get the trolls, right? Like, hands down, if you can't handle the trolls, then you shouldn't be in this game, period.
I'm a little bit sad about that, about Julian, because here I am for 2 years straight trying to convince trolls to come on my fucking live streams, and never. And the first time I'm looking at fucking a broadcast on this channel here, there we go. We got one.
Well, I mean, if he wants to come on, bro, I say let him come on, right? Like,
yeah.
I can throw down the link in the chatter box right now. And, sir, if you want to come on and tell us that, you're more than welcome to. I mean, we might eject you, but at least give you a chance.
I'll suck your dick. Just come on live stream, motherfucker. I want to see your little pencil peel. I get so pissed that, like, is that?
I'm on camera, dude. What's going on?
I cannot believe, like, that actually did kind of frustrate me for a minute, that I've been trying to convince trolls to come live streams on my channel and never. And then here, now this asshole comes here. What the fuck? Go over to my fucking channel and fucking... I've been trying for 2 years to get a troll to come talk shit, and they wouldn't. No one. Go away. And then
I love that we got troll. My rules for trolls is this.
I was sitting there, I was starting to get mad. I almost broke this part of my headset because I was like, what the fuck? I don't get a headset on, and this guy's talking shit. We got a troll on the fucking headset. Like,
I love the trolls. They're free views. They're free views. And my rules for trolls is this. I won't immediately boot you unless if you're really fucking offensive. I want to see how funny you can be. Make me laugh. If you're going to troll, at least fucking be a funny troll. Or, if you disagree with the things we say, and I'm sure many of you are going to do, at least come at us, with some logic, Yeah,
well, there's a difference between, if you want to disagree with something, that's fine. Everyone disagrees with shit. If you want to disagree with something and debate about it, that's fine too. If you want to be a fucking troll, do it with some class. Get the fuck on here and talk your shit. It's fine. I can't bite you through the computer screen. It's fine. Like, fuck.
So,
trolls and the good entertainment too.
So, I watched your last broadcast, and one of the things that you talked about was something that we were talking about in part 1 was the whole Phoenix Comic-Con thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what a story that is. In the sense of, to the average person, that sounds like
here's what. Look at this guy and tell me that they didn't know he was going to fucking shoot somebody when he walked in.
Fuck, he looks like the fat kid from Lost.
Yeah. He had a fucking... he walked in with a shotgun holster across his chest with the fucking shells in there. They didn't check that? The fuck?
So this guy makes it into a convention. He's got 3 or 4 pistols and a shotgun and throwing stars, right?
Yeah. The whole fucking he had 2 .45 caliber handguns, a .454 handgun, a 12 gauge shotgun, all fully loaded in bullets in the chamber and all, and a combat knife, a thing of pepper spray, and what got my respect? Ninja stars, legit ninja stars.
I don't think this guy deserves, any respect, in the sense of you were going in there to fucking shoot people.
No, he gets my sarcastic respect.
Are cool. Don't get me wrong. Ninja stars are cool, but let's, this is going to hurt comic book conventions going forward. I think, anyway. Not hurt them that they won't happen or anything like that, but you're going to feel a tighter security presence at these things than you normally would. Because, when you go to a comic convention, and you've been to a few, it's like the friendliest place on earth, right? Like, it's the place that you least expect trouble. This is like where all the geeks and nerds go to share in a passion. You don't expect the fucking shoot 'em up to happen here. You know what I mean? Like, and so, but now that Pandora's box has been open, it's like, yeah, it's possible. We will shoot up Comic-Con. That is just going to have a ripple effect down the road, and as well as it should. I mean, this guy was able to get in with this stuff, and that alone tells me that there's a problem. When I went to Calgary, and I did the Fan Expo, and yes, I know there's a difference between violence in the U.S. versus violence in Canada. I mean, there's a lot more shootings in the U.S., granted, but that shit can still happen, especially in a big city like Calgary. No one ever patted me down, and no one checked any bags. I had boxes full of comics. I could have had anything in those boxes. You know what I mean? Rolled them right up through the back. There was a dock area where vendors could bring up their stuff. So I got a big trolley. Took my banner, took my comics, took all my shit up there. And I don't even think anyone checked my pass. You know what I mean? Like, I just literally just walked past people, No one ever stopped me to look at my pass, or sometimes my pass wasn't even visible, Like, it maybe went around my back or something like that. And I just walked past these people. Like, I could have, and I never thought about it at the time, but yeah, if I wanted to have a gun in there, I could have easily have brought a gun in there. Easily.
And I find that that's the thing too, is like at almost anything like any kind of event, if you just go and no matter what you have on you, if you look like you're supposed to be there and you ain't got nothing to worry about and you're just casual and just walk by the fucking guards, walk by the door people, whatever, they don't usually bother you. But big problem that the biggest problem is going to be that so many people go to them conventions. You can't have enough employees to fucking get everybody checked and everything checked so it's safe, and get them all in the convention before it's over. So I don't know what the fuck they're going to do, but it is definitely definitely an issue. Well,
what they did do at Phoenix Comic-Con, anyway, what they did do was that they banned all prop weapons. So if you're a cosplayer and you were Deadpool, you couldn't bring in your sword. If you're a Jedi, you can't bring in your lightsaber. If you're Han Solo, you got to leave that blaster pistol at home, right? If you're fucking Daryl from Walking Dead, no Nerf fucking crossbow, right?
Yeah.
That's what they did. Now, do you think that was an appropriate response?
The quick answer is yes. They did. I mean, one thing that they give them credit, the people and the employees, the fans that were there, the cosplayers and the people working the event both need props, because the event itself, people were offered refunds if they wanted them because of that. And I'm pretty sure not a single individual took a refund and left.
Wow.
All the people there, I'm pretty sure, were all supportive of the decision that for the rest of the convention, weapon free, prop or not, and all weapons, including toy and prop weapons, have been banned. Vendors selling prop weapons will be allowed to continue selling them as long as props are sealed, and they inform the buyers to leave them sealed until they leave. And all convention goers and cosplayers were overly supportive of the decision, and there's no reports of anyone actually taking the refund and leaving or anything like that. So I think it's probably understandable. Like,
well, I mean, especially in our community, right? I mean, a bad incident like that goes down. They have to put down the rule. A cosplayer would just look like a whiny little douchebag if they threw a fit about that, wouldn't they?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I mean, you've got two different types of people that are going to those conventions. Young kids, and I'm old now, so I'm allowed to say kids when I'm referring to people in their early 20s. And oh my God, that makes me so sad that I just realized that I can call people in their early 20s kids now. Fuck.
I do all the time.
Anyway, you got the young people, 16 years old to 25, 30. And then you've got, and they're going with their friends having fun. And the other half of the people going are geeky nerds like them who are a little bit older, bringing their children to those things for the first time, or bringing their young kids for the first, second, third time, getting them into it, right? Those are the two types of people you get. And that's a broad generalization, but ultimately you divide everyone that goes to conventions and stuff like that into two different types of fans: younger, single, or just single people going as a fan to enjoy it themselves, and fans bringing their offspring, the next generation of geeky nerds, to come and experience it and get into the culture. You can't fucking do that. You can't bring fucking, if you want to kill Jason David Frank, do it when he's leaving the event. I didn't like the Green Power Ranger even when I was a kid, so fuck him, I don't care. But don't do it there at the event. And okay, no, I don't want him dead, but it comes down, look, people get shot every day. Celebrities, more celebrities should get fucking shot. Like, what the fuck is with that? But anyway, there's children there. There's people there that are just, you've got all kinds of people there with problems, as in like anxiety and social anxiety stuff. And the only place a lot of them people feel comfortable are at their Star Trek conventions, their comic book conventions, stuff like that. That's sometimes some of these people only get 2 or 3 times a year to feel comfortable around other people, and that's in those situations. You got children there, some of them still in strollers, you know. At least if, and because the dude wanted cops too. He wanted Jason David Frank. There was another celebrity that was unnamed that he was looking for, and then police officers. He called them Aphrodite cops, and they're apparently the bad cops. If you're going after people because you think you believe you're in the right and they're bad people and you need to do that, why wouldn't you think there are 100,000 children here, toddlers and children. If I get into a shootout with the police, when I get into my planned shootout with the police, how many of those are going to end up innocent targets with my widespread 12 gauge shotgun and handguns that I probably only have a minute education in how to use, and my ninja stars that I probably have never used except to throw at a tree in my grandmother's back fucking yard. There's going to be, there's pregnant bitches that go, there's kids and toddlers, there's just people that's their one release a year that they get, and then there's just everyday normal fans, people that you would call normal people that go, and you're looking for 2 individuals plus bad cops. I don't know how you're going to spot the bad ones, but you're looking for specific people. Why are you going to go to a place filled with a couple 100,000 people and go to war there? Like, come on, Rambo, take your shit out to the woods or something. But no, anyway, off topic. Basically, I think that banning the weapons, like, that was an immediate fix. Like, they had to do something right then and there, because it was only the second day of the convention. It was a 4 or 5 day event, and it was only it was day 1 or 2. What's the date today? The 30th. It was only the first fucking day, because it was at the end of the very first day. It was Thursday, because it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Jason David Frank was supposed to be there earlier Friday, but he was late. He never got there till 8 p.m. And this all happened between 4 and 5. But yeah, the first fucking day, I mean, I don't know. They had to do something right then and there. They had to cancel the event, or they had to do something right then and there so that the next few days could continue without disruption. The least amount of disruption you can do, and the simplest thing to do, given the situation, okay, guys, sorry. Toys or not, props or not, put them in the box, get them on your way out, or leave with them. You can have a refund, whatever. You have to have an immediate response, even if it is somehow clear that there is no other potential threat, which you can't really be clear with a couple 100,000 people in one spot. But even if you can be, you still have to respond immediately, or you and your organization look bad, and next year you're only going to sell half the tickets because people are going to be like, well, there was an issue. Sure, nothing else happened, but they didn't take precautions after the issue, so now how do I know I'm safe? So that immediate thing of taking away all weapons, including toys and props, I think that was a smart move, because, again, it's the quickest thing you can do that deals with the exact situation that just happened and the least disruptive way you can deal with it. Anything else that you can think of that they could have done is either going to involve shutting down the convention or parts of the convention, or things that are going to be a little more drastic and cause more ripples to wave through the convention and disrupt it. And they don't want to do that. Long term, I don't know what the fuck they're going to do long, because really they're not going to ban props and stuff long term. They could technically, as in they can, because of their event, they can make the rules for their event. They can't, though, in the sense that, cosplayers will say, yeah, no, that was reasonable doing that right away. That was reasonable. And being more strict with the regulations regarding what I can bring in, getting more strict with that, I understand that. But taking it out altogether, that would be like telling a cosplayer, you can't wear your mask. You can't really do it. Like,
here's what bothers me, because I know if you go to Halcon, okay, and you have a fucking prop weapon, you have to like register that, like that you're bringing that in, and they have to check it at the door and put a little fucking sticker around it, okay, saying that
orange thing or something, isn't it?
Right. Yep. And so, how did this guy walk in with 5 guns?
Well, I don't know if that, like Canada. As far as I know, most places in Canada where I've heard about conventions or I've read about it or I've watched YouTube, I love watching YouTube videos about conventions, stuff like that, because I never get to go to big ones, right? So I watch them. And a lot of the stuff in the recent years, the last 5 years so, has been like having an orange tag on your weapons and stuff like that. But I don't know if that's a Canada thing or if that's like an everywhere kind of thing, or if it's just some do it, some don't. It's up to them. I don't really know the specifics of that, but that's a good, I mean, that's something that I don't think that they implement that in a lot of the big conventions in the US, and I don't know about in Canada, right? But if it's not something they do, that's a good first step toward resolving preventing any future issues that might come up. If they don't do that, they definitely should be. You should have to have it clearly marked or tagged that it's
a toy. This is a toy.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And it should be registered and inspected. I mean, because you do get people that go with steel swords and they're blunt but it's still a piece of steel, right? Yeah. It's a prop, and you're allowed to take them with your cosplay, and people do. But I do think toy, replica, prop, whatever. Yeah, I do think that yes, here's what I have. That's not a part of my costume, like a blaster that can be removed from the holster or a sword that can be removed from the sheath. Yes, register that, get a tag put on it so that if it's randomly inspected, which they should be doing, it got to have that tag on it, or it gets confiscated, or you leave. That'd be a really good first step. They also need to find a way to funnel the people, because a big thing of it is you got to get as many people through them doors as quick as possible, or else you're losing money every second that there's a foot outside that door. So that's one of the big things, is get all this money spending stuff in one big spot and get as many people through the door as you can. So they don't want to slow it down, and people already will put up with and sometimes are okay with the lines to get into these things, but I know a lot of people do not like it as it is. But they, what can you do? But making it even worse isn't going to help them. That'll make attendance at conventions, I think, go down a little bit. So they got to find a way to usher as many people in there as quick as possible, while still making sure every single individual that walks through there, you got cosplay? Yeah, let's see it. Okay, you're good. Or here's what you got to do to adjust it to be good. They got to figure that out. I don't know. I really don't know what they could do. I mean, the registering of things, tagging them stuff, that's a good first start, and they should be doing it. They should have people going around randomly inspecting stuff too. Like, it's a lot of Big Brother stuff, which I'm normally against, but this is what a safe space. Now I'm getting a good idea. See, this is what a safe space should be. Not with these social justice warrior pussies on college campuses and these millennials tell you a safe space is where don't hurt my feelings. But a convention is what a safe space should be. Just like a school, it should be a safe space, meaning you can go there and have a reasonable expectation that you won't come to harm in some way.
Right.
So they should have off-duty or on-duty undercover or uniform wearing. They should have a couple cops if the municipality at the time can spare them, which I'm sure they can. They should have people walking through security, and they should have police there, and there should be people just randomly. Oh, I see you got that. Can I see that tag right quick? Oh, yeah, thanks. Cool. You're good. No problem, bro. And that's a little bit people. You're like, my freedom, my freedom. You're imposing on my freedom, but. And you can argue the point, and I would be the one to argue the point that you're doing the give and take, where you're appeasing Big Brother for the illusion of safety. But
you're in a large public gathering, and I think in such a large public gathering, that is not too much to ask for,
No, definitely. And that's when it comes to stuff like that I do fall on that side of the fence, where normally I'm against that kind of thing. If you ask me about a school, of course I think school should be safe and secure, of course. If you're going to ask me about a convention, yeah, I definitely, you know what? They do need to clamp down, and maybe we should worry a little bit less about our freedoms while we're in that space and worry more about, are you alive or dead? Are you having fun? Are you not having fun? Are you enjoying yourself? Are you not? I mean, I don't think that having somebody walking around a convention inspecting weapons and checking on people and checking, even though it's oppressive and blah blah, because all the time, but it's not the same as, like, because a lot of people say, oh, it's the same as a cop walking up to you on the street, and unlawfully detaining you, telling you not under arrest, and that you do have to provide certain identification that you don't have to provide. It's like, it's the same thing, but it's not. It's really not. And that's one of the things where my brain just goes haywire, because it's like, no, you believe in this, but you also unfortunately understand that there's certain circumstances dictate that you got to adjust your beliefs a little bit for certain situations. And I'm rambling way too much for a simple answer. Yes, I think it was good what they did. Fuck, they're going to do in the future.
Manchester, England, right? They had the concert bombing, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even though that this guy that was at the Phoenix Comic Con may not necessarily be labeled a a foreign terrorist, so to speak, it kind of opens the door to them. Yeah, domestic for certainly. This certainly opens up the door, though. Like, oh, okay, you know what? Hey, we didn't even consider going to these big, huge Comic Cons that draw thousands of people. But yeah, yeah. You know, and of course they're bombing concerts where children go to. Okay, so they have no problems picking on the innocent victims that aren't going to be able to do anything. You know.
Yeah.
So why not a Comic Con, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
Bigger than they have ever been before. You know.
Yeah. Oh, and that's a good point too. And any conventions like that and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, where previously, and that's exactly valid. And that's exactly true, that terrorists don't normally target conventions and stuff like that. It's not something that you would think. I mean, if I'm a fucking terrorist, that's not the first thing I'm going to think to bomb. And if I'm a terrorist, definition of it, you're a terrorist when you terrorize others through your actions. That's what makes you a terrorist. And I mean, if I'm a terrorist and I'm going to bomb something, I'm not going to be like, where do the nerdy, geeky people hang out? I'm going to go, where do big crowds hang out? Okay, and the first things that come to my head, and I'm not even into sports, I'm going to think sports arenas during big football games stuff. I'm going to think theaters. I'm going to think stuff like that. I'm not going to think, oh, the local comic shop might have a convention, or the this big hotel over here, they might have a convention. If like, fuck, now that, man, I never thought of this asshole now, because yeah, you're right. I mean, that's what I think of. Now this asshole goes and makes big fucking news because he did it.
Yeah.
That puts it on the radar for terrorists that are like, where can we kill a lot of fucking people to attack America or the UK or whatever?
Not only that, but think about like, oh, they all dress up in these like crazy costumes. We could hide so much shit in this stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go as cosplayers. And if anyone questions us, like they question everyone else, since we're statistically non-white, non-Americans, I don't want to be called racist here. So if I say we're brown and Islamic or some shit, someone's going to whine and shit themselves, I'm sure. But what I'm getting to is people are going to play the fucking race card. And in this day and age, that means the terrorist card, which is, oh, I'm of Middle Eastern descent, so you automatically, oh, no, you can't check. This is racism, when all they want to do is check the same shit they're checking on white folks and black folks and everyone else. And they see the thing with these kind of terrorists when it comes to, like, and I am going to say, the Muslims, I'm not saying all Muslims are, and no, Islam isn't necessarily the root of all evil, blah, blah. But right now, our big issue is with Middle Eastern terrorism. So, and now let's be real. Let's not call it racism. Let's call it what it is. So that's the war we're fighting right now. So, they know, they're not stupid. They're not stupid. They know, hey, we can go to Western civilizations and we can play the race card. We can play all these different manipulative cards to bypass certain procedures, whether it's security procedures or voting or whatever it is. They're not stupid. So they're going to, exactly like you said, they're going to know, hey, and if anyone gives us any shit or starts getting a little too close to what we're doing, we can just start screaming the race card or something. And most of us are bound to get the fuck away and get in the convention where we want to be to blow shit up. And it's, fuck, man. It's just, the world is so fucked. Like, why the fuck can't you just wait out back of a building, shoot someone in the head and try to not get caught like back in the day? Make it simple. If you got to kill, I don't advocate killing people. But if you do have to, whether it's the right reason, wrong reason, or whatever the case may be, if you got to do something like that, just do it. Like, have some fucking class. Have some fucking class when you do it. Right? Don't go threaten a great big crowd of fucking people. And like you said, now because this asshole had some delusion about the fucking go Green Ranger, he went and now he fucking got the idea in people's heads.
Well, let me ask you this.
Fuck. There's a. 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 There Jesus.
Our connection
I'm
got.
not necessarily a religious preaching person, but this motherfucker does need Jesus.
Let me ask you this, okay? Because you seem to know a little bit more about the story than I do. What was Buddy's deal with the Green Power Ranger? Why the fucking hate on for this guy?
He said, I don't even need to look at the article for this one because it was so stupid and outlandish, I remember. He said that 15 years... First of all, dude, he wasn't dressed up like Punisher, except he had some black clothes on, but he told the cops he was the Punisher. So I don't know if this guy's all there, right? But he says that 15 years ago, he stabbed Jason David Frank in a dispute they had. And he just wanted to finish the job. That was all it was. He wanted to finish the job. He said he stabbed. And Jason David Frank, he was like, I ain't never been stabbed in my life. Check my butt. Like, I ain't never been stabbed in my life. And you can see anyways, he fights in the UFC, the minor leagues of the UFC. Stab scars on him unless he got it in the nuts or the upper thigh. But he's like, I ain't never been stabbed. I don't know. But dude's like, no, I fucking stabbed his ass 15 years ago and I just want to finish it.
Now, why did he stab him 15 years ago? Was that ever mentioned?
No, just they I don't think so. I'll double check, but I don't remember anything about that. Just they had a dispute 15 years ago, according to this guy, and he stabbed him, and he just wanted to finish the job.
15 years later, huh? Nothing like getting on that, you know?
Yeah, he had to get the motivation.
Right?
$1 million bond for bail.
Wow.
Let's see if it says calendar. He set the calendar reminder on his phone to remind him to kill the fucking people on the date and the time and all that shit. Like, talk about lack of commitment. If you're gonna fucking murder somebody and you've got to set a reminder on your phone,
dang, it's time. Oh fuck!
You're fucking rethink your plan and what you're doing, because it might not be something you actually want to do.
Man, that's ridiculous.
Okay,
at 1:45, I got to pick up the milk, and at 3 o'clock, kill Jason David Frank. All right, my day is set. You know.
Yeah. I never liked the Green Ranger. Fuck man. He says, this is quotes here. So he indicated that in a text message, he was going to have a showdown and kill God knows how many more cops. So that's what he said, and no one knows what he's talking about because he hasn't killed any cops before. So I don't think Guy's all there. Officers who confronted Sterling immediately tried to control the scene. Okay, that's just talking about like he's not a small fella, and he's using all his body weight and shit to try to resist. He exhibited a dramatic threat to the community beyond police officers and Jason. Yeah. It doesn't say who. A number of other people were referenced as possible targets and people he wanted to kill. Okay. And later interviews with. Okay, here we go. And later in interviews with detectives, Sterling explained that he was the Punisher and that he planned to kill bad officers. Quotes, Matthew explained that he calls bad police officers Aphrodite officers, and he can differentiate between these bad officers from the good ones. Okay, sure. If you see a cop beating some guy down for no reason, yeah, but I don't know. He added that he told police numerous fantastical stories during questioning. He had a 4-day pass. Yeah. Okay, yeah. He passed to the event, and his intended target was scheduled to be there. Yeah. He claimed to have stabbed the performer 15 years earlier and went to Comic-Con to finish the job. Following the arrest, police said additional screenings. Okay, yeah, no, he doesn't. It doesn't say. If he said what the altercation was about 15 years ago, supposedly, it doesn't say in there. I got 3 different news station articles. Well, 3 different articles from 3 different news stations up, and I don't remember any mention of the action, because I wondered that too. And I don't remember any mention of, let's try the 3rd article here. I don't remember any mention of what supposedly happened 15 years ago. And there was a news thing I watched, a thing on the news too, with Jason David Frank, and he didn't know, apparently, because they asked, like, reporters, like half hour, 45 minutes long or something, and then they were asking him about shit. And he was like, I don't know, never had any confrontation with the dude, never got stabbed, don't know. So, yeah, no, there's... He believes that there are police officers that have kind faces and everyone can be bad. Well, yeah, obviously. Okay. Yeah, no, there's nothing about what happened 15 years ago, apparently. But supposedly 15 years ago, he had an altercation with Jason David Frank. And see, I think what happened probably what year is it? 2017. Oh, he probably was just pissed 15 years ago. What happened? See, Dave Frank went away for a little while and then come back on what, like Turbo Force, some shit. He's probably like, no, you're back. I hated you in Mighty Morphin. Why are you back? And then he just, Dave Frank, he's been the only dude. He's been doing Power Ranger stuff from the time he showed up as Tommy, and he still does Power Ranger stuff today. So he probably just didn't like me. I didn't like him either, bro. I didn't like him. But this dude probably just couldn't get over that. And he was probably like, no, he's probably gay. What happened is he had a hard on for Jason, the Red Ranger. And Tommy come over, took over leadership, and he just couldn't let that go. That's probably what it was. And Jason David Frank and what's his name? Augustine, whatever. I forget the Red Ranger, Jason. I forget his actual name. But they had beef. They've always, like Jason David Frank and dude that played Red Ranger, always butted heads from the time Jason showed up to the show. They've always butted heads and stuff like that. So maybe dude was just hard on for Red Ranger, and Green Ranger swooped in. Jason David Frank, kept going, and dude just had enough.
These are the people roaming your streets, folks.
Yeah, fuck, really. I don't even know what I'm trying to figure out what he was planning to do with the fucking ninja stars, the throwing stars, because here's the thing. Use those first and throw them down off the balcony into the crowd down there.
Well, did the Power Rangers let me ask you this. Did the Power Rangers use ninja stars?
No.
I was going to say maybe use those on Jason there,
The Samurai Rangers and the Ninja Mystic Force Rangers, they don't even use fucking ninja stars. The Ninja Rangers and the Samurai Rangers don't use ninja stars. I don't know what this dude, and this dude, I'm not making fun of fat, well, no, I don't feel like making fun of fat people right now. He's not small, he's not huge, he's not Jabba the Hutt, but dude is not a fucking ninja. All right? Dude's not a ninja. And I know bigger people can be athletic and be flexible and be fast and spry. Dude's not a fucking ninja. In all seriousness, jokes aside, he's probably schizophrenic or something like that. But back to the jokes and the funny part.
Yeah, no, he's out there.
Yeah, and I don't.
And here, I don't want
to bring a sword.
Fear of God into people. I mean, this is obviously an isolated incident. This doesn't happen all the time. But I guess it's just the potential that it can happen has been brought to our eyes, right? That's the whole lesson to be learned here, And so
I tried looking it up earlier about because I was thinking, is this an isolated event? Like, how many times have comic conventions had like attacks or stuff like that happen? I couldn't find anything when I tried to figure out, has this kind of thing happened at a comic convention before? All I could find was that like in 2007 around 2007, a dude wasn't allowed in because he had I'm an idiot. 2015 or something, because it was during Walking Dead, and anyway, dude, it was like 2 years ago or a year ago. I don't even know. I looked at some of the articles. Anyway, a dude got kicked out of a convention or wasn't allowed in a convention because he had a hat with fucking dude's baseball bat on, fucking stuck on it, and it was a foam fucking fake bat, seal, Walking Dead, and they wouldn't let him in because it was too graphic and looked too violent. And in 2000, there was something like 2006, 2007, a couple incidents like that where just all it was literally a foam weapon or something that.
Yeah, there was one I remember. And
I don't remember.
Close. No, what I remember is a guy was, because you brought up The Walking Dead, the guy tried to go in as Daryl, and he had a legit crossbow, okay? But it was unstrung. It had no string.
Okay.
So he couldn't fire it, but they wouldn't let him in with it.
Yeah. See, I couldn't find anything. I don't remember finding anything involving violence like that, shooting, stabbing, anything else at a comic book convention. So this might be this dude might be setting a precedent. But no, that is a big thing too. Like, it's not any people, anyone that does see it should know. It's not. We're not saying it happens all the time, because it does. It's like I said, like I just said, I couldn't find any other incident of it ever anything like that ever happening ever. Conventions or science fiction conventions or fantasy conventions ever. Maybe it has. I can't find anything other than a little argument and scuffle. So this guy, he might be setting a precedent of that people just never thought of. And it's like, hey, instead of shooting out the school today, I'll wait till the weekend to shoot out the convention. Like, people don't normally think of that, and now they might. And it's just like the type of world we're in nowadays. It's just fucked, man. It's fucked. And you know what? If a lot of things weren't the way they are, dude probably never would have gotten in, or he might not have ever wanted to kill anybody, or anything could happen. Anything could happen, and anything usually does happen at least once. But
here's the other thing I want to talk to you about. Moving away from this now is I know you're a fan of the Injustice game, and Injustice 2 is upon us. Have you had a chance, to check that out or anything of that nature yet?
I haven't played it, haven't tried it. I've been making myself not watch gameplay videos for it. I'm happy with Injustice. I still like just Injustice, the first one. I can't wait to fucking actually play. Like I'm gonna get Injustice 2 eventually. Hopefully I can get a PS Pro through the summer, and then I'll get Injustice 2. I got to buy Overwatch back again too because the stupid pawn shop. So I think they sold it. They said they lost it, and it wasn't the due date yet, so they're assholes. But no, you didn't know. I haven't played it, seen any other than like the trailers and stuff that was out before the game was released. Like that stuff I was watching, but actual any gameplay or anything like that since it came out, I haven't seen or anything like that.
Well, I can tell you, playing the game and streaming the game, it's awesome, brother.
Yeah, it's probably fucking pretty cool. I mean, and it's trying to think of different characters that weren't in Injustice 1 that I thought were in Injustice 2, but I haven't played or watched any streaming videos of anyone yet playing it, so I'm not 100%
Robin's
sure,
in it. Poison Ivy's in it. Supergirl is in it. That's who I use. Brainiac is in it. Darkseid's in it.
No, I'll get to playing it eventually, I'm sure. I still like the first one. That's the only thing I don't like about when games come out. Like it wasn't right after, but I mean, I think it would have been cool if they just like put out patches for you can buy this set of instead of buying a whole nother game, pay half as much, get the new characters and stages and stuff we're going to put in it, and every now and then here's a patch for it because it's still a pretty solid game, and it's not like the first one was already on a next gen system, so it's not like there's much more they can tweak when it comes to graphics and the way it plays and stuff like that. Just adding more content and changing the content and story and stuff. So they could have added patches, and that would have made someone like me happier because it's like I love the first game so much.
You're gonna be happy with part 2 because that's exactly how it works now. Oh yeah, the way it works now is they have DLC content that they're going to release, and you can either buy it or earn some of this or most of this shit in the game itself. Okay, all the characters earn gear, and this is how you change the looks of the characters. Instead of swapping a skin, you change their gear. And you get gear out of earning levels, okay, like you would normally earn a level in Injustice. And when you earn levels and stuff, you get loot boxes, just like you do in Overwatch. And you open these fucking loot boxes, and inside these boxes are gear. And just like in Warcraft, you have your common gear, your rare gear, your fucking legendary gear, okay, that you can equip your characters with. And they all have certain abilities and things that the gear can do. They have stats. And you use this stuff in the single player game. Now, when you're playing against someone else, you can opt to, use the gear or not use the gear. If you're playing ranked, flat out, your gear doesn't work. You'll still have all the cosmetics to your character, but the gear won't have any enhancements, right? Now, the other cool thing is that they're going to do events just like they do in Warcraft and in Overwatch, and they're going to release new gear, new skins, new maps, and new characters and all that stuff as it all goes on. So they have a guild system in the game, so when you are up and running with it, you got to come join my guild because we can earn gear in the game that you can't get elsewhere unless if you're in a guild. So
nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. They've done a really good job, and it's still a fighting game. It still has all the fundamentals that you remember from playing Injustice. It still feels like it's the Mortal Kombat engine. But they have like 28 characters, new characters coming out. So yeah, it's cool. So if you're, the stuff that you just mentioned, yeah, you'll be happy with because it's not a game that they plan to do like the first one. Oh, here's some shit. Okay, here's a couple of new things. Oh, here's the Ultimate Edition, and now we're done. No, this is a game that they want to evolve and make into an e-sport.
Good. Because one thing I hate is I have so many games like Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 and stuff. I don't touch cools a lot of time for games because I'm so satisfied with the original. And it's like I'll own a game. Say I've got Assassin's Creed 1 and 2, which actually I do. I've got like 5 or 6 Assassin's Creed games. Anyway, I'll play if I like the first one and I'm still playing it. Like Skyrim, I haven't found a reason to stop playing Skyrim. Hundreds of hours in that game. And if they came out with if there was an Elder Scrolls 6 that just came out, I'd be kind of not happy. I'd be like, no, I'm still into Skyrim. Like, no. So for me, I'll have Injustice and Injustice 2. And I'm happy with Injustice 1. So it's like I'll sit there for an hour looking at them both, like, which one do I want to play? and then I'll play something else. I'm fucking so retarded like that. But I'm gonna get it, and I'm probably gonna, like, with that specifically, it sounds like I'll play it and I won't worry. Like, I'll slowly. It'll take probably a little bit, but I'll gradually, slowly stop playing the Injustice and then play that one more and more and more and more.
Oh, once you try this one, you won't ever look backwards. You won't. I mean, unless if you want to play Batgirl, because Batgirl's not in this one yet.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Imagine they'll drop her eventually, but right now she's not in the starting lineup of characters.
That sucks. Oh, well. Still though, I mean, it still sounds good. I mean, if it was again just with different characters and stuff, it'd be a good game. So I mean, with all that other shit, like, it sounds like it's set up. It sounds like Injustice was just like their test run, and they were like, okay, now that we've got it, now we know exactly how we want it to go. Let's put Injustice 2 out and do it the way we want to do it. And so, yeah.
Now, speaking of DC, right? You mentioned that you've been, picked up some comic books. Like, I don't know if you've already done your haul video on another comic book channel or not, or what have you been picking up? What have you been grabbing for books and shit?
Last thing I got, I'll just grab it. I didn't get a whole lot, but the last thing I got here was just, all it is I think just about every single thing in this bag is a double, because it's all every single book is Power Rangers. Well, there's a couple Justice League Power Rangers. And I think, so yeah, it's all Power Rangers, and it's just it's mine and my youngest boy's books, because he gets Power Rangers, the other one gets Batman. But yeah, that's all. It's just Power Rangers, Justice League Power Rangers, and Power Rangers. That's all I picked up. And
what reviews you got coming up? You've been doing some reading.
I got those there too. Yeah, I got what the fuck is this? Oh, it's a receipt. Why is it in my book? Well, there's Fearless. It's a 4-issue miniseries from IDW, and I'll grab it right quick here. It's right beside me. My review box is right beside me, because I still, even though I've stopped using diaper boxes and coffee boxes for my comic books, and I'm using actual comic boxes for them now, I still keep one of my Van Hout coffee boxes for my review box, because there, my review box. Oh, this one's not in the box, but this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Meet Archie, like 1990 something. I don't know. It's fun. That's just one issue though. So right now, the next couple things. Fearless is, there's 4 issues, and it's Image. I said IDW. Beowulf is IDW. This is Image. So that's just issue 1. But a book called Fearless, which isn't bad. It's not.
That's like an older series, or is that something?
Yeah, well, it's I think Fearless is like 2004 or 2005.
Oh, okay.
Beowulf is I think from 2002, maybe. This one is the IDW, and that's just issue 1, I think. Issue 1, yeah, it's a 4-issue one as well. Beowulf. That I didn't like. It's still good. You guys will have to watch my review when I upload it to see my exact thoughts. But
it's a sneak peek here.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be. The Beowulf one. Fearless, I knew nothing about it going in. So, but Beowulf, it's like a high fantasy type setting. I thought it would be cool. Not high fantasy, but it's like Viking mythology type setting, and I like that stuff.
I want to do something special for Backwards Compatible. Okay.
Yeah.
And here's what I want to do, and this is going to be a comic book thing, but here's what I'm thinking. Remember, I talked to you about the Dark Knight 3, right?
Yeah.
And so I bought the latest one. Now, I'm not sure if that's the last one or not. It's either the last one or the second to last one. Like, this thing is almost done now, right? So once they actually, once we know, okay, that's all the books, like it's either 8 or 9 of them. Once we know that we got the series, both you and I will read the miniseries. And then both you and I make separate review videos, okay? Because, we don't want to influence each other's thoughts. You just, you come on here, you throw down your review, I'll come on here, I'll throw down my review, and then after those are two uploaded, then we come on together and we can talk about the miniseries.
I don't know if I got all of them yet. And it's at least going to issue 9. There was rumors about it going up to 12 or so, but I don't think it's gonna. So I don't know if it's gonna stop at issue 9. I don't think if it I don't have issue 9. I'm pretty sure I do have all right up to 8, hardcover and softcover. But I know I don't have the last, like the most recent. I assume the most recent one's issue 9.
Yeah, well, it has Wonder Woman on the cover. You would know it.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't have it. But it's at least going to be 9 issues. It was going to be 8, and then they upped it they confirmed to 9, and they were talking about going up to 12 or so. I don't know. I haven't heard anything else about that, so it's at least 9 issues. Hopefully, it's only 9 issues, because I don't want to keep buying them. But yeah, sounds good. I don't even know why. Well, I know why I'm buying the hardcovers, but I really shouldn't. But I got almost all of them anyway, so I'll just
you're this far into it now, you know. You might as well see it through, right?
The hardcovers won't even get open; they'll just sit displayed on a shelf or something. The soft covers is what I'll actually read, but I guess that's kind of the point anyway for me, for getting the hardcovers. So
because I had started reading them, but they were so far in between. I'm like, fuck it, I keep forgetting, right? So I'm just gonna I'm gonna wait till it's done. I'm gonna bring them all to work one night, and I'm just gonna read them, you know, and then that'll be a perfect time to come on and do my little video, whether I liked it or not, whether you liked it or not. And then I'm sure we're gonna feel differently about different things about it, right? So that way, when we do come on together, you know, you can throw out your stuff, I can throw out my stuff, and then by that time, hopefully, we've built a little bit of a following, you know.
Yeah. I think I don't read them when I get them. I just wait, and then like miniseries, if I'm buying into a miniseries, I won't even touch it until I get them all, because it drives me so crazy, because I read so many novels and comics and watch so many different shows and movies and stuff like that. There's too much in my brain. If I read 1 or 2 issues of something and I have to wait a week or 2 or 3 or 4 to read the next part, I'm going to forget, and I'm not even going to want to read it. So I learned a long time ago that for me personally, I have to wait. I can't read stuff unless I have all of it, or else it'll just, yeah.
Now, I want to also give a shout out before we start wrapping things up here, is shout out to Chris Ventura, you know, the Dark Avenger. Today they did their release party on YouTube for the Celestial Falcon. And so that comes out June 2nd. So I just want to make sure that we give a little shout out to the Dark Avenger. You know, he's got a great indie book coming out from Last Ember Press. And the thing with Last Ember Press, and nothing's been signed or dotted or anything like that, but the colorless is Lisa Moore, and we're thinking about bringing her to do color for Niobe, right? Like issue 5. Put it in full color, and we kind of toss the idea around to her and her man Brant, who also does a bunch of lettering, and they seem to be down to work on the book. And so I can't, we're not that far yet, but that's what that's a possibility that all that could happen. And so yeah, we might go full color, and it might even be sooner than 5. It might be 4 if we make enough on Kickstarter, because I'll put it as a goal, like, if we make $4,000 or something, I'll fucking take $1,000 of that, or whatever it's gonna take, and we'll fucking put this bitch in color, like. Yeah,
I just had a thing in my head, like the old cartoons. I just say like Niobe now in Technicolor,
right? Like, now in full color,
Fucking A, yeah. And
so Steve's done the first 2 pages of the book, and so we're the script's been done, it's been edited, it's in the hands of Steve and everyone, RB White and Nicole, and shit's getting done now. So it won't be, it'll be probably towards the end of summer, but then we'll see the Kickstarter for issue 4. So that's the news on the Niobe front,
There you have it, people. Keep your eyes open.
Plus, just meeting, all those cool people throughout the last couple of cons. Mike Ruth has said that he will do a variant cover for us in the future, and he's done work for Red Sonja and Conan and Animosity and a few other like image books and indie books. So, he's a pretty popular artist. Been around the block, and yeah, we'll see who else we might be able to get to chime in. C.K. Russell is now working for a manga company. She does lettering for a bunch of mangas for a big line of manga books. I forget which one it was, but she's a busy girl too now, man.
Yeah. Oh, that's good though. That's good.
Steve Ballou making a killing in Transformer commissions.
That's good. He should be too. Like Steve's good. Steve's a good artist.
So
Even if
Matt,
I didn't
I
like
know
them,
that you're still not financially, back to where you were yet, but it's got to be good news, right? That you're not at fault for this accident. I mean, now don't they have to pay for your car? Isn't that how that's going to work?
yeah, well, their insurance, I don't know. It's something to see. If it was my fault, our insurance would have to pay for the repairs or whatever. And if it's their fault, they should be paying for their insurance should be taking care of our repairs. But say it's our fault, but there's a technicality where it voids part of the insurance or something like that. Then our insurance company is going to be like, no, you're fucked. And they'd have to take us to like civil court or some shit to get the money to pay it.
Right.
Or I just had to voluntarily do it. So I don't know I let her deal with it because I get so mad and frustrated when I try to deal with these people and try to like deal with stuff like that, like all the insurance fucking jargon bullshit. I don't deal with it. So something about their insurance, whatever they did, their insurance is like, nope. I don't know if there was an unlicensed driver. I don't know if they were the driver. I don't know if they weren't insured for more than one driver. I don't know what happened with it. All I know is that most of it's going to get paid, but we still have to pay $1,000. There's a fuck ton more than $1,000 worth of damage. So I'm glad that like that's all it is. If I'm going to look at, well, it could be worse. If I'm going to take that mindset, then it could be worse. I mean, it's $1,000 out of almost 10. I might as well just go sign the contract, get a new fucking van if that's what I got to do.
Right.
But, so we still got to come up with $1,000 because there's something to do with their insurance. But I don't know how I keep telling myself I'm happy and satisfied with what happened now because of what happened, the way things happen. But I still find myself wanting to go back, time travel back to that moment and mouth off to that bitch hardcore because just think of a, it's not a four-way stop, but I mean, you got a fucking street, little intersection thingy, stop sign here and here. I'm here. Bitch is here. Well, she's not here, but this is where she come from. Car's going this way. No red lights, nothing. So we got to wait for them. So I see nothing coming. I didn't tell the cops, but I'm sitting there smoking a joint at the stop sign.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering, if you were like live streaming or something while all this was going on.
I wish I was. That's the first thing. As soon as I heard the honk and I heard the boom, I was like, why ain't I streaming? So I'm like, okay. I can see as far as the crest of the hill, nothing coming. I can see as far as I can see to the horizon, nothing coming. Let's go. I start going. Truck comes up over the crest over here, and that's fine because I've got millions of fucking years to get on that fucking, because I'm going this way to go back to work. So I'm out and I'm already turned straight, starting to drive up the fucking, I finished my turn. I completed the turn and now my vehicle is straight. They come up on my passenger side. It's not a two lane. So they're half in the ditch. They're not on the road. They come by me on my passenger side. I don't see them. I hear a horn. And I'm like, where the fuck is the horn coming from? Because I do what a logical person would do. Let's look where the road is.
Right.
No. Smash. Oh, you're on this side where there's no road. Okay. So they fucking basically come up beside me. I was already straight. I already made my turn when they whipped around their corner and made their fucking turn. Because they were across from me. I'm here. They're here. Well, they came from here. I was already here. I make my turn. My vehicle's straight. My turn is done. I'm done. I completed my vehicular turn. All of a sudden, they fucking whip around and they come up on my passenger side. Again, a honk. I'm looking to where the road is because that's where the cars are supposed to be. And just as I'm realizing, oh, you're over here, they fucking cut me off and take out my whole front bumper. And I'm in a big van. They're in a car. So I'm not the one that got spun around, but they fucking, and they're out there. Miller, she's that fat bitch out fucking screaming at me about how she's got kids. And all. Now there's no kids in the car. She didn't have kids in the car, but she's telling me she's got kids. I'm like, you've got a kid. I've got 5. What's your point? But she's flipping the fuck out at me. And I'm literally, nobody that watches this channel and doesn't know me other than this channel would not believe me. That's one of the reasons I wish I was quick, because I didn't tell her off. I didn't raise my voice at her. I just fucking sat there. I was like, window down. I was like, hey, sorry. What else can I fucking do, right? Sorry, I know. And she's going on like a psycho, and I'm like, I know. And that's literally all I said was, I know, I'm sorry, calm down, I know. And I'm putting my joint out on my thumb here too, because I know that the authorities are on their way. And I messaged the old lady, accident, you got to get here because I ain't fucking walking nowhere. I'll sleep in this fucking ditch, and I'm not going back to work. And the thing is, what really gets me is, or what got me, is that I knew right away. I'm like, this shit is so not my fault, and I don't care how much fucking dope I'm smoking. This is not nowhere near my motherfucking fault, and I knew that. There's no question. So normally you would think I'd be all smug and cocky about it, but for some reason I just wasn't. I was like, whatever.
Stoned, dude.
And, yeah, but that don't matter. But I don't know. It was just weird. Like when things like that happen, I'm just like, my brain just goes flip. Like, and anyway, yeah, I was just.
I got more questions. Like,
stomp the joint. And
when the cops got there, did they smell the weed? Did they know? Like,
oh, I don't know. No, well, they didn't say nothing. I didn't tell them.
Okay, you got lucky there.
I don't. Wasn't really even luck, really, because it's just like, first thing I did was get out of the van and fucking went over by where the ditch was, tossed the half a joint that was left on the ground, and I scraped it through the dirt with my foot, all fucking non-noticeably, and that was that. I had nothing else on me. I was going to work. I knew what I was doing. So what pissed me off was the cop was fucking an asshole to me, and someone that wasn't even one of this bitch's friends that had showed up wasn't even in the accident. But the cop got that person's insurance information, because the cops gotta get their insurance, give it to me, get mine, give it to them. And there was a truck. This bitch hit that truck that was coming over the crest. Cop didn't get that guy's. So first, the cop doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know his fucking job. He didn't get any insurance information from the truck that the girl hit, that the girl's car bounced off of when she hit me. And he did get insurance information from a car that wasn't even there and showed up after the fact. And he was mouthing off at me, talking shit about fucking, you think it's okay to just fucking drive and cause an accident, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, no, I don't think that's okay. Why? Someone do that? Like, fucking, no, of course it's not okay. Why? Who done that? And when it was all said and done, when he was letting us go or whatever, and everything was done, he was fucking, he was like, some shit about lucky he's not fining me for not yielding at a red stop sign, stuff like that. And I'm just thinking, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Not yield at a stop? You're an idiot. But I didn't even say no. I'm just like, can I fucking go now? Like, you ruined my buzz. I was starting to get a buzz. It's gone. Gone. My half joint's gone. My dope's at home. Can I go? And up until the insurance investigation thingy-majiggy was done, I couldn't help it. I kept thinking, like, I've been driving since I was 8 fucking years old. My dad taught me driving when I was 6. The first time I drove by myself, I was 8, and I've been driving ever since. And I've never once caused an accident, been in an accident, or anything like that. I'm a good fucking driver, and I know it. But from then, right up until every day, it got worse and worse, where I was replaying things, looking for something that I might have done to cause it, that I might be in the wrong, and questioning myself. And then all of a sudden, the woman didn't even fucking tell me. My fucking kid told me. It was like, oh, it was the other person, blah, blah, and he was 5 going on 6. I'm like, yeah, it was, buddy, it was, because my kids ain't gonna see me doing no motherfucking wrong, because usually I'm not, because usually I don't do things I think are wrong. And but I was just like, yeah, I know that she was fucking wrong. I know, because I knew, and I've said that ever since. But then I was talking to her. I was like, yeah, he was saying, being cute, saying that. And she's like, yeah, no, the insurance investigation thing is over, and they called. And I was like, when the fuck did they call? And I guess it was like the day before or some shit. And I was like, you didn't think to tell me? But apparently the big investigation with everything that happened, and ultimately in the end, yeah. I mean, I don't know how it couldn't have been her fault, since she wasn't at the stop sign when I started turning. When I was already done my turn, she showed up on my passenger side where there was no road, and thus the accident. So I don't know how it could not have been her fault, but still, I spent a few weeks questioning it. Like, maybe I did fuck. I'm not perfect. Maybe I did fuck up.
Right.
So, and then all of a sudden, the only thing that bugs me about it now is I can't find that cop and go rub it in his face, and I can't go find that bitch and rub it in her face.
No, I thought you worked with this girl. I was going to ask if, like, working with her is uncomfortable now.
Yeah, well, no, not for me. She's nowhere near me at work. There's only one time I made it really clear that there wasn't going to be any work done if I had to see that bitch. Like, I was so angry that I didn't lay into her at the time. And it happened. Like, I've been in an accident on a public bus. I've had trucks hit me. I've had fucking been in an accident, other people's cars, other people driving. And whenever something like that happens, my brain switches to this like weird mode where it's like, okay, I'm perfectly calm. I'm clear thinking. And everything is just like, fuck, I don't know. My brain goes into survival mode, not survival mode, but like fucking I don't know. You're trained to be in accidents mode or something, where it's just I know what everything comes back. All my old CPR comes back to me. All my old emergency procedures come back to me. I get calm. I cannot get angry for some reason, and I just handle the situation. And I was so mad at myself that I didn't fucking lay into that bitch because I really wanted to. And that's the only thing that I'm mad that bugs me now is just like, not necessarily I want to go lay into the fucking fat cow, but I know that she knows it was her fault because they would have had to tell her the same thing that they told me.
Right.
So I know she knows, but I want to be there to see her know.
You want that satisfaction, yeah.
Yes, I want her to have to look at me while knowing that she's the one that fucked up. That's all. And I'll never get it, but it's all good. That's the only, if anything bugged me about it, it would be that. The fact that they got to look at me and mouth off at me, her and the fucking cop. They got to look down on me. Turns out they were wrong the whole time, but they don't have to fucking admit it to me, at least, you know, and that does drive me crazy, but I don't think about it that much. Like, so pops in the head every now and then, that fucking stupid bitch, but could be worse.
Well, at least the debt isn't, you know, like, you know, they're not saying that you have to pay for all this and your insurance is going to jump and all that. I mean, yeah, you do have to pay $1,000, which sucks, but, you know, I mean, you put in a few, you know, you used to do a lot of overtime, put in some overtime. I'm sure you can cover it. Because, you know, a while back, I mean, it was looking kind of dire there. I mean, so hopefully this is an uplifting thing. This is going to help you out, and you're, you know, at least a little bit more forward now than you were before, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, and I mean, I know I won't be doing no overtime because fucking I don't even know how much longer I'm going to quit that motherfucker soon. I'm going to find another job. That I'm so mad at them. Like I've just had enough with it. The fucking stupid people there. I've bitched about it in videos before, and it just, these people, like, they don't, especially like with this situation and she was a new supervisor at the time, did no shit, and it's just, I ended up the new site director, or the second in charge guy there, I ended up telling him off, told him to go fuck himself, and that I'd fucking give his wife back when I was done with her and all this shit. I told fucking half the supervisors there they can suck my asshole and all that shit. I've been telling them off. I've been getting in trouble finally. It took almost 3 years, but I've finally been getting in trouble at work. I don't know how the fuck it's taken this long, but finally. But I haven't been backing down either. I'm like, no, I'm fucking going to come in here and I'm going to fucking be at war with any one of you fuckers that even looks at me. If you're fucking in management, don't fucking look at me. Let me go and do my job. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm sick of you. Because it's just, you know what it's like. Improve this. Okay. Hey, you improved this. Now improve it more.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you improved it more than we told you to. Hey, good. But it's not good enough. Keep going. Or do this. Like, it's just, no, right? I got, my health issues are worse when I'm there. I'm in more fucking pain when I'm there. I'm more fucking, it's not healthy to be there for me specifically. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to even be there, but they still won't fire me for some reason, but I'm going to quit really fucking soon. Cause I don't want to fucking end up fucking like, I don't want to be that guy that you watch on YouTube that fucking just for no reason one day just gets up from his chair, picks up his desk and throws it at a fucking third floor like, or something, or fucking like drop kicking a fucking computer on my way. Like that's gonna be what happens one of these days, and I don't want it to be.
With your health issues and stuff, and you don't have to answer this. This might be too much of a private thing, but you know, one would think that you'd be a good candidate for disability and not work, considering.
I could have got disability when I was 14, and no, when I was 15, because I was working. Yeah, it was when I was working at Tim Hortons. My first job when I was 15. Well, my first legal job when I was 15, working at Tim Hortons. Like not even a year there, I could have got on like disability, social fucking something, basically like disability. Basically, it wouldn't have been like as I could probably now, too, probably, but I don't know. I don't want to fucking just sit around and get money for doing nothing. I'm not interested. It's people have mentioned it before too, like about that, especially recently. And I've thought about it, but I've thought about it in terms of like, yeah, I could go this route, but I know what I'm like, and I would automatically feel bad about it. And it would just be like if I all of a sudden, I'll fight, you know, I'm going to quit and I'm going to go apply for welfare or something like that. It's not the same, but to me, it feels the same. Getting like if I went on disability, it's less money than I can earn if I actually work, and to me, it's the same. I don't like I've been on I think I was on unemployment twice in my life from being laid off from couple different jobs, and I didn't like being on unemployment. Like that drove me crazy. So to me, like I try to avoid it. And when it comes to like disability or something like that, yeah, it would be an easier way out. Like, well, not way out of anything, but it'd be an easier route for me to go. But the two big things with it is, one, I really, really, really am the kind of person that I would rather put up with the health issues and not have to deal with the fucktards that you got to put up with to get through the red tape to get that shit.
Yeah.
And I also, like I said, to me, it's it would make me feel the same as if I went and applied for welfare or social assistance, something like that. I've never done any of that before. Even there have been times I went homeless instead of getting assistance because of the way it makes me feel. And that's my dad's fault, because he raised me to be a certain type of personality when it comes to work. And if I'm breathing, I can work. Like
Kyle Walker says, "What's happening, guys?"
Oh, same thing as when you were here before, man.
Yeah.
Just shooting the shit, man. What's up? I'm looking at the screen with the chat like he's there too.
Yeah,
what's up, man?
He's fucking sitting right beside me, you know.
Yeah, but
Prince Kyle Walker in two places at once.
Yeah. No,
so
I'm
backwards compatible, man. This is it.
Yeah. Fucking A. I'm hoping that I'm either going to stick this job out long enough to build up a little bit of money so I can buy some supplies that I need to get my own business stuff going, or I'm just going to find something else to do temporarily until I get enough money saved up to start making large amounts of like wall hangers, magnets, pins, and keychains and shit like that. So
well, I guess that would be the only advantage if you had to go the disability route, is that you would have all that open time to,
yeah,
you know, to do those sorts of things. You know, I mean, if I had to go on disability for whatever reason, you know, I would like to think anyway, I would put that much more effort in an IOB as another way to make some money on the side, you know, like.
Yeah. Another thing with that too, though, like with me staying home, and it's more of a thing recently than like my whole life, I've held the same beliefs about why I don't ever try for that kind of thing. But adding on to that now too is like, quite frank, yeah, you got the woman and kids and shit. Yeah, of course. But she's not the worst woman in the world. But one of the things is, if I was sitting home trying to work on my own stuff because I was on disability or even unemployment, something like that, she'd be at me, hounding me all the fucking time. When I get out of the hospital, every time my lungs collapse, every time I go to the hospital, doctors tell her and me very specifically, take it this easy for this long. I'm home for 2 fucking days and she's got me carrying shit up and down the stairs and fucking like hounding me about stuff. You know what I mean? So it's not, whether I love her or not, it's not an issue. Whether what she's done wrong before, what she's done right before, what she's going to do wrong in the future, all that doesn't matter. With her, the point is, if I'm home, if I'm trying to work on my own thing, she's not the supportive type to take it seriously and to be like, yeah, I won't bug you 24 hours a day when you're home to do what I want you to do and put your stuff aside until the all wee hours of the night and morning, right? So it wouldn't bend it. Like, I mean, I'd still be stuck doing stuff at night. So for me, it wouldn't really help me that much with that respect, but fuck it. I don't know. I don't like sitting home all the time anyway. If I was going to do like, I'd love to have like a workshop or something I could go and like do something. Even if like this place that we're renting from, not allowed to put a fucking, not allowed to put a shed there, not allowed to put a baby barn. We can put a baby barn down if it's propped up so that we can remove it when we leave, which, okay, but just if I offer to pay for a permanent shed for you to have on your property, let me pay for that shit, man. It'll raise your property value, but whatever. So the only place I got to do anything here is in the basement. And like I said, the only time I can really do anything is at night. Whether I'm home all day or not, the only time I got is at nighttime. And at nighttime, I'm just like so stressed out and worn out from the bullshit through the day. I just want to watch some YouTube or do my own video or something like that. And it's like, fuck. If I had, then again, you know what? If I had the supplies, that is what I'd be doing at night. If I had all my supplies, I would be working on a lot of that shit through the night. So I guess really it'd be the same either way. The point is, there's no point, and I'm just rambling.
Well, be glad you don't have a shed, because you know then you might have groundhogs like I have.
Yeah, so that wouldn't bother me. That's one thing I miss, like from back. Like, I mean, there was 3 sheds back home when I was growing up, and like I've always had some kind of shed or something everywhere I've lived, and this place doesn't. It bugs me because that means I got nowhere to do woodworking stuff. I've got nowhere to just chill and do my own thing. I've got like I know I grew up a hillbilly style kind of deal, but I mean I should have at least one shed for a workshop. I should have a shed that I have a wood stove in that I can sit and have beer or dope or fucking play a game of cards with the boys, something. I should have a space like that. But I don't. So I got the basement that I share with storage and laundry. And my time that I share between 6 or 7 people on any given day, plus whoever else I got to deal with. So yeah. No, and groundhog, I don't know. I wouldn't mind groundhogs. Fucking, yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. They get annoying, maybe, but.
Well, they dig under the shed and they destroyed the foundation to the shed, right? So the shed sinks into the ground. They get into your garden. Well, not so much the garbage, but the garden. They dig into your garden. They dig little holes all over the place. I caught 4 of them in one trap in one shot, and I got 1 more left to go.
Should have just fucking went out with like. I seen that on Facebook that you had. I don't know how many days ago, but anyway, pictures of it and all that. And I didn't want to say it on Facebook, but I would have just fucking like if I wanted. Well, there's 2 ways you can go about it. I mean, for example, the skunk that tried to invade my basement when I lived pretty much across the street from where I live now, I just went out and I just reached down and killed it and put it in a fucking shopping bag, right? But groundhog, I mean, yeah, groundhogs just fucking, I would have just went up and fucking lure them out with some food or something and just clubbed their fucking heads in or something when they come out, kill them, get rid of them. Or if people don't want to kill animals, I mean, I wouldn't kill groundhogs. I mean, I'd either let them be or else, yeah, like you said, live catch them. Here, it wouldn't be a problem here because I'd have, like I said, if I had a baby barn or something, I'd have to have it boosted off. I'd have to have it up off the ground, like on a fucking support or something. So it wouldn't be a foundation there anyway. But yeah, no, they get into shit. They do. Rodents and animals like that. They get into shit, and it's, you know. But,
I want to thank you to our subscribers here.
Yeah.
So I got a small list. Now it does take some time when new subscribers subscribe for them to be added to the list. And sometimes, like you know, Maverick, that if they don't make their subscriptions public,
we can't see it. Yeah.
But for the ones that we can see, we want to thank the Uncanny Kyle Waka, Mr. Gretzky 9966, Buckshot 33, All About Comics, and Steve Boyu.
Yes, absolutely.
And then Rebel Gaming is there, but that's me. So, of course, I'm going to subscribe to something I'm a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. And there you go, people. Like, tell your friends. You know. The channel will grow. It'll grow, and it'll.
It's going to be fun to see what we can do with it. You know, like I said, it's all a matter of what we want to put into is what we'll get out of it, and it will morph and change and be one thing one day and something else the next, I'm sure. But that's half the fun of just seeing what 2 guys can do with one channel, and you know, both people bring their best ideas to the table and let it roll. You know,
I feel like there could be a sitcom built around this idea.
2 guys in a YouTube channel, you know.
Yeah.
Listen, Maverick, it is 4:15 a.m. I am going to go outside for one more puff. Then I'm probably going to sit down for a little Injustice 2 before I, ride out the rest of my night here. It was good seeing you. As far as RPGs go, we had 2 people drop out due to a family thing. So I guess that's on hiatus for now, but Tom is talking to them, and we're going to maybe set something up for down the road when this family tragedy is over with. So if that goes down, I'll let you know, and we'll get that rocking and rolling. I'm a little bit disappointed that they just kind of said, no, we can't do this now because of X family tragedy, but it's a family tragedy. So what can you say? But maybe a month or 2 down the road, when they're feeling better about everything and they got the mood again to do this, then we'll do it. I mean, Tom has seen them this weekend for a barbecue or something, so he's going to talk about it and see where what they want to do. And if there is a game in the horizon, sir, I will let you know.
Yeah, that almost worked out like prophetically, almost. Like, I mean, you told me about the game stuff, and I was like, I downloaded a whole bunch of material.
I'll keep it.
But it's funny because I tried to print it out. My printer, it was working perfectly fine up until that morning. We used it that morning. That evening, I tried to print them books out. It won't fucking work. I can't get the printer to work. And I still, to this day, I cannot figure out what's wrong with it. It might just be dead. But that happened, and then family thing with them, they couldn't. It's like maybe the game wasn't meant to start yet, or something like.
So I still want you to look through the books, get familiar with it, and start thinking of your character idea. Because when it does come time, then you'll have all that stuff done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look through it and think about it because I've never played or played a superhero tabletop RPG. So I'm really interested to see how it is. Star Wars was the farthest thing I've ever ventured from, like D&D style, The farthest from D&D style I've gotten with tabletop is the Star Wars. Well, I played a Star Trek tabletop game like when I was 14, but I guess that can be sci-fi, right? Same realm of Star Wars, whatever. So, yeah, that's the farthest I've ever gotten from like high fantasy type role-playing games for tabletop. So I'm really interested to see. I'm really curious to see what a superhero game is going to be like.
A superhero game in Niobe's universe.
In Niobeverse, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
She'll definitely be an NPC and part of the team. So
excellent. That'll be cool.
Well, you'll get to learn all the inside scoops because a lot of stuff I want to use for the comic. Sometimes I'll test in the RPG or make a character in the RPG that could later end up in the book or whatever, right? So
I'm gonna say that in the game, some things that happen in the game might give you ideas for future stories or something like that too. Like
absolutely. Well, that's how it came about the first time around. So
yeah, and that's how a lot of I'm really big into novels, like big 500-page fucking novels. And I love like Dragonlance, stuff like that. And Margaret West and Tracy Hickman, that's how they came up with writing that over 100 books worth of fucking stories. It started with a D&D campaign in the Dragonlance realm. Dragonlance is a realm, just like Forgotten Realms in D&D. That's exactly, and I've got the big omnibus thing with all their footnotes in it from when they wrote the original 3 books that they started with. Now there's over 100. But the Dragonlance fantasy realm in the form, like the novels and the stories from that, all the characters in those books are characters Margaret West and Tracy Hickman got from their D&D campaign playing in the Dragonlance game setting. So you never know what can come from it. Like, I mean, fuck, tabletop gaming is a great resource for ideas for all kinds of different shit. I know people have made video games based on ideas they got from tabletop games, novels, comic books. It's so fuck yeah, you never know what happens. I'm gonna look specifically for a specific moment while playing that game that can equal, because I set the bar in that Star Wars game for me personally for highlights of gaming. I set the fucking bar for myself when I had that during the session where all my English is leaving. I know they're not Wookiees. I'm telling myself they're not Wookiees. Jawas. When the incident with the Jawa, I was just rolling motherfucking every roll I needed. I made and just owned them fucking Jawas until the end of that situation. Like, I mean, it was fun and it was enjoyable, and not just because I was making awesome rolls. The whole scene itself, I can imagine that scene playing out. I can taste the air and smell it, and like that was a real experience. Like that's a good memory. We made a good memory there, at least from my perspective. And it seemed like those involved were enjoying it just as much. And it was, when you're playing a game and there's just or you're doing stuff in life and there's moments that are they're your permanent memories. They're vivid, and it's almost like you were there. You're playing a game or reading a book, but it's like you were there. That's how awesome the moment was. I'm going to be anxious to come across more awesome moments like that, because that set the bar for me for like awesome fucking tabletop moments. Like if I were going to write a chronicle or do a biography or something about the best fucking gaming experiences, that would be up there that would be in there. I'm blabbing now because I'm just excited to try a new fucking game.
It's a really in-depth system. You got a lot of reading ahead of you. But I don't expect you to know everything overnight, but just get an idea of what you're in for and start thinking of your character.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I'm sure something will come down the pipeline sooner or later, and Friday night is the best night for me and Tom, and it seems to work for you. So whether it's them two or we get 2 different people involved, we'll do it at Tom's. He wants to host it, so drive out there, drive home, whatever. But we're not limited to like 3 hours or 3.5 hours to game. If we want to stay an extra couple of hours, we can do that, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, I like that because
have a puff or a drink, you can do that. You're not Yeah. It's not like the Comic Hunter, where our hands are tied with a lot of stuff, right? This is a game at someone's house.
That'll be the best part, if you can like step out for like if you can have a quick puff before the game and like a quick puff on break stuff outside or something, and if you can not be set by a time limit, like store closes at 10, you got to be out. This session's got to be done with like that. That's if I had a negative. If there's something I didn't really like about playing Star Wars, that would be the only one thing. Yeah. Like it's stuck by a time limit, like because I'm not running any games right now. We're taking a break while I plan some stuff out, but normally like when I do Sunday games, they go anywhere from 8, 10, 12 hours. I don't fuck around with no 3-hour games, right? And I don't expect games to last. Normally, games shouldn't last that long. I'm just an idiot, and my friends.
We used to do those marathon games too. Then we kind of cut it down to like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah. And even like a 5 or 6 hour game is a good game. Like that's still better than like say being there for 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be. And the best thing about it being at someone's place is there is no time. It takes however long it takes, either until people said, okay, well, we've pretty much had enough for the night, or until you get to the end of that session. It takes what it takes, and you don't got to worry in the back of your head about time.
You're more comfortable. You know what I mean? You're not surrounded by like, a bunch of strangers, or feel like that you're in a business,
Other games going on here and there.
Yeah. And like you said, if you want to have a puff outside, you can go do that. You know what I mean? Like it's not, and you can swear, make, jokes. You don't have to worry about offending somebody, and you give you a little bit more vocal in the game because you're not going to bother anybody, so.
I think it'll be fun.
One of the books that you're going to want to check out, since I got them right here, is this book here. So make sure you get this book for the system. It's called Champions Powers. Okay.
Let's see. Just opening up the folder that I've got those because
what's in here is basically every power that you can think of. Now, the game allows you to make your own power. So if there really is something in here that doesn't suit your fancy, go ahead and make it up. But this will save you a lot of fucking time, because in the main book, they don't actually have a list of powers. They just tell you how to make them. Well, that book is a bunch of powers that are pre-made that you can choose from, right?
Yeah.
And it's like 300 pages worth of powers,
The
main fucking book is a 500-page fucking tome. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take what
there is a condensed version of this that I suggest maybe going over first, but this gets a lot more detail, right?
Yeah, I've got that one and the basic one too. I've got 33 6th edition hero rulebook.
If this is in there, this is a combination of the little one and the big one, but about in the middle of information, right? Like the little one will get you started, like the basic book will get you started. Read that first. And then maybe have a look. If you don't have powers, try and find it. But I mean, worst case scenario is I have the book. So.
Oh yeah, I got it. I'm gonna screen share right quick. So, yeah, I got that one right here. Powers. There it is. Let me just pop this on. Oh, what's going on? Okay. Screwing up my screens here. There we go. Yeah, so let's see. This folder I'm in is all just a Hero System 6th edition.
Yeah, so we'll go back there. So volume 1 is the play. Go up back to the top. So volume 1, don't open it. But volume 1 is like the player's handbook sort of thing. Volume 2 is like more for GMs. The basic rule book is that, like, here's the game at its core. Here's the bare bones of it, right? Advanced Player Guide is just basically like an extension of the 2 big rule books. Martial Arts is pretty self-explanatory. It's all about martial arts. Equipment Guide, Skills, Advanced Player Guide 2. Champions, that's the book I was just showing you. That's basically like the combination of the big book and the little book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you got your powers. The Champions universe is like a source book on their own world. You know what I mean?
Like game setting information stuff.
Right. If you want to use their setting. And same with the Masters, the Villains, and the Solo Villains, and Champions Beyond and Book of the Empress. So those 5 books you probably never see us use. Fantasy Hero, that's if you want to run this system in the fantasy world, right?
Okay.
Grimoire is something that we can use in both fantasy and modern day. It's like basically a book of spells. And then you got like a bunch of like modules and stuff.
Yeah, add-on type books, extras.
Yeah.
No, I got some. Got some material here anyway. There's 33 different books.
Oh, you got it all.
Because I was getting GURPS, Star Trek, RPG, D&D stuff. Yeah, so
if I was going to relate this to anything, the closest thing that it is, it's closest to GURPS.
Okay, that's another one that I got that because I wanted to look into it because I haven't looked at it before. So,
well, you want 4th edition. There's more in 3rd, but 4th edition is the most current. That's when we have played GURPS, we were using 4th.
Okay. Well, right now the big thing. I'm glad I got the right 6th edition. Yeah.
Yep,
okay. So I got the books anyway. Yeah. No, I tried to print this. Tried to print a couple of, like I was going to print out the rule books and shit, and yeah, couldn't get the printer to work.
Start with the basic book.
Yeah. I flipped through a couple of them. I'll flip through figuratively because they're not in the book, so I can't flip through. But where's the? Because the basic one I took a quick glance at, and there was another one. Oh well, yeah, I got the book, so no, I'm definitely gonna be looking into it. It sounds really fucking cool. Like, where the fuck is my other monitor? Jesus, there it is. It sounds really freaking cool. And like I said, I've never played. I mean, it's the farthest I've gotten from like actual D&D or fantasy, high fantasy type tabletop gaming is like Star Wars and stuff. So I'm really, really, really super excited for a couple of. I'm really excited just to get into the Niobe-verse. I'm excited to try a new game that is fucking superheroes. What the fuck? Who isn't gonna like that? And also, I'm gonna go through all the character creation stuff too. Once I figure out what I'm doing, I might use it to develop one of my own characters for my own stories.
Well,
like
this is the most complex and most detailed character building system there is.
Sweet. I love that. I love fucking like all kinds of.
This whole book is character building.
Nice.
So Maverick, with that, I'm gonna let you go, buddy. Great first episode, man. You know, I love talking to you. We're gonna do this more often, and once in a while, maybe we can even be in person to do it. And if we get the game going, fuck, we'll talk about that too. You know, so
yeah, for sure. After the games, or like not before, but like yeah, depending on what time the games end, fuck, after the games, have a fucking live broadcast before I go home or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I always bring my laptop, so that's an easily portable Google Hangout right there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So guys, Maverick Freelance, Rebel Gaming, RebelKomix, whatever the fuck you want to call me, backwards compatible. This is what it is. We'll see what it becomes, and we'll see you later. So peace out, brother.
Talk to y'all later, man.